Subject. Now, see, whenever we read, before reading itself, certain questions we do develop. The very first question is like what type of a reading it is, a fictional or a non-fictional. The second is like looking at the title, we also try to frame like what may be the author's purpose. I hope you are aware about author's purpose. What are the author's purpose when an author writes? Are you aware of it?
Yeah.
Let me know what is author's purpose basically.
So it just what the author wants you to know from reading their story.
Hmm. What exactly it is known as? One acronym is being used for author's purpose. Are you aware of it?
No.
Okay, I'll just let you know. When we talk about author's purpose, the three letters comes to our mind. That is PIE, togetherly called as pie. It's not that the one apple pie what we eat. It's like P is to persuade, I is to inform, and E is to entertain. So when you read any novel, kind of some entertaining mystery stories or something, so it's entertaining. Author's purpose is just to entertain us. When some sort of encyclopedia, some fact-based reading, some biographical reading, some autobiographical reading. So here the purpose is information, and if we read some kind of articles where some provoking topics are being discussed, or some sort of advertisements, or some sort of like one should follow this pattern and everything. So that is persuading. So that are the three main purposes of an author, and that's what we develop the question in the beginning when we read the title. Now you tell me, reading this title, what do you feel like? What may be the author's purpose out of that pie? Is it P persuading, some sort of, I informative, or some entertaining?
This article looks like an informative. It's like
Well, okay. Because the title itself says like we are going to understand about who the Saint Patrick was, what exactly the life pattern and everything. Okay, can we start reading?
yeah. So Saint Patrick is the patron saint of Ireland, known for introducing Christianity to the country. Early life. Not much is known for certain about Saint Patrick because he lived such a long time ago. He is thought to have been born in the 5th century in a town along the west coast of Britain. His family were thought to be very healthy because his father, Calpurnius, has held a very important title in ancient Rome. Patrick's grandfather, Potitus, was a Catholic priest, and it's thought that his whole family believed in Christianity. However, despite this, Patrick was not religious himself. Patrick's capture and escape. When Patrick was 16 years old, he was captured by a group of Irish pirates. He was taken to Ireland, where he was made to work as a slave for 6 years. While he was there, Patrick was made to work as a shepherd, and during this time, he began to pray to God for the first time. After 6 years as a slave, Patrick heard her voice telling him that he would be able to go home soon because a ship was waiting for him. That night, Patrick fled from where he was being kept and made his way to the port. 200 miles away, he found a ship. He was being kept and made his way to a port 200 miles away. He found a ship that was almost ready to set sail, and with difficulty managed to persuade the ship's captain to take him away from Ireland. The wild boar. When the boat reached Britain 3 days after setting sail, Patrick and the crew all left the ship. They are said to have walked for 28 days through the forest and began to feel unwell because they were so hungry. Patrick told the ship's crew to put their faith in God and prayed that they would find something to eat soon. Soon after Patrick had prayed, the crew found a group of wild pigs roaming in the forest. Patrick knew that his prayers had been answered and became stronger in his faith. Patrick returns to Ireland. After spending a long time studying, Patrick became a Christian priest. One night, a few years later after returning home, Patrick said that he heard a voice telling him to return to Ireland and help the Irish people. Patrick knew that many of the Irish people were not Christians. They were known as pagans and they worshipped many different gods. Patrick knew a lot about Ireland because he was a slave there for so many years. He bravely chose to go back to Ireland and teach the Irish people about Christianity. With help from God, Patrick converted thousands of Irish people to Christianity and began building churches across the country. Patrick was well known was well known for using things that Irish people already knew about to explain Christianity to them. One of these examples was a shamrock, a leaf with 3 parts, with which Patrick used to teach people about the Holy Trinity. After teaching people about Christianity for over 40 years, Patrick died on 17th March 461. That is why St. Patrick's Day is celebrated on this day. After his death, Patrick was called a saint because of how holy and religious he had been throughout his life, and the people of Ireland have never forgotten how special Patrick was to their country.
Yes. Now, after reading this, what you understood about Saint Patrick, can you please give your answer in just 4 or 5 sentences?
So at first, his family all believed in like Christianity and religious beliefs, but he did not. And then he was captured for like 6 years to Ireland. Then he prayed for his first time, and God answered his prayers, and he escaped from Ireland. Then when he got back to Britain, he was told he was told from God that Irish people needed his help, so he went to Ireland and taught Christianity for 40 years, and he died on 17th March 461. That's why they celebrated St. Patrick's Day on this day.
Okay, done. Now, one more point. I hope you might have observed while we were reading, we came across the word that's first. What exactly is the meaning of this?
Kind of convince.
Convince. Yes, because again, when we read, sometimes we do get a reading strategy that is of the context clue, where we do get certain words and we have to think of their dictionary meaning. That's the context clue part. Okay, then now we have some questions based on the same. Yes. Now, could you please read first question?
Question 1, who is Potitus?
So, do you want me to go back to the text and write the exact answer, or you remember something?
I think I remember something. Right. I
Okay.
think it's
Would you like to try?
Patrick's dad.
Okay, you can try. You can write that sentence in your book. But if you are have any confusion, just let me know. We'll go back to the text and find the exact statement.
Okay, done.
Next. I don't want you to write the second one in your book because that's just an MCQ pattern. So just you have to give me that exact correct answer. What was his job?
C, a Catholic priest.
Priest. Okay, will you keep in mind? Okay. The third one, his family were thought to be very wealthy. What does the word wealthy means over here?
Rich.
Yeah, that's a context clue part. Okay, because the wealthy word was in our text and we have to find the meaning. That's a kind of a synonym. Okay. Next, fourth one.
He was 16.
Okay, this one you can write in your book. Wherever the constructive sentence comes, we should try to write in our book.